Hi everybody, it's Chris here, and today I believe today is the 31st. Yeah, today is the 31st of July, and I made one video earlier about the Trinity, and hopefully clarifying some thoughts on that. And now now I'm gonna just talk about a few things in general, just a few ideas. One, and the most important one is that and I should really I almost want to start every video, just with every video I should start off by just saying, like, hey, we're living in the final times, everybody. We're really close to that time when the day of the Lord will be upon us. The day of the Lord is at hand, and we should all be really preparing our hearts and our minds, and just really getting closer. We should all be getting closer with God all the time, and preparing ourselves for the times that are to come, because some really trying times are ahead of us. Now, just sort of on that topic of being prepared, some people, there's sort of this debate. Some people will say, well, the church is going to be raptured, and we don't need to be prepared. But I just like to just remind people of the parable of the virgins. The 5 virgins were not prepared, and 5 were. And the ones who are not prepared, they do not get to enter the wedding party. And so, preparedness is important. You should be living your life as if it could happen right now. Tonight, tomorrow, whenever. Really soon, and even more so. I was given a specific warning by God that this is going to happen really soon. And so I just want to start off by reminding everyone that this is our time. I want to encourage everyone, that our struggle will be over soon. Many people may be struggling and wondering, like, how long, because it can be hard sometimes to keep your faith in God when you see a lot of things going on in the world that are not good, and so stay in faith, because we're almost there. Endure to the end. He who endures to the end will receive the kingdom of heaven. So there's that. And another thing that maybe I've been kind of mulling around in my head is sometimes I get asked this question, like how do you know that it was God that spoke to you? How do you know it was God? Maybe it was like, maybe you got confused, or maybe it was something else, maybe just like a, I don't know, like a crazy dream or something. And like, my response has always been like, look, if you saw what I saw, you would know, because like it was too amazing to put words to. You can't describe it. And so the other day, though, I was in church, and our worship pastor, it's sort of, he's the one who leads us in song. He leads the band up on stage, and he usually starts, he says a few words and leads us in songs and stuff. And one week he showed up, and the previous Sunday we had really just the singing, the whole church had been singing, and it was quite a moving service. And so he showed up on this week, and sort of the words he had for us he said sometimes people ask me, like, how do you know if it's God that's how do you know if it's God that's in your life, or how do you know if it's maybe something else? And he said, and I always tell them that, when it's God, you'll know. You'll just know that it's God. And he said, and last week, the way we sang, the way all of us were just singing together, he said, I just knew that was God with us right there. That was God, because that was the way we were all together in one spirit singing, it was amazing to me. He said, I know you all felt it as well, and I'll tell you what, that was the Spirit of God. And so, and that was like, to me, it made me even more confident in my answer. When people ask, like, how do you know that it was God that spoke to you? I just say, because when it's God, you know that it's God. And let me tell you, folks, it was God. It was something like you can't even imagine. Nothing in my entire life compares. Even a candle holds a candle to that. It's like when you see God, you just try it. Try to imagine a beautiful sunset or a mountain range, something like that. Or you look up at the sky and see the stars at night, and there's 1,000 stars in the sky. And when you're in one of those places that's just like, up in a remote area where there's no other lights, and you look up and you just see all these stars, when you see something like that, when you see something amazing and beautiful, and you're just like, wow, incredible, I can't believe that. And then try to imagine the being who created that. Imagine how amazing a being has to be to create all those stars in the sky. And then imagine that being is talking to you. That's how, it's like seeing 10,000 sunsets all at once. It's like seeing every mountain range in the earth all at once, plus all the stars in the sky, plus all the sunsets. It's like seeing every amazing thing that God has ever made all at once, because here's the guy who made it. And he like radiates light. Here's a guy who literally radiates light. That's how amazing he is. And so, so my answer is, like, you don't confuse it, and I'll tell you what, I had a few sort of religious experiences before. And like, I had experiences where I was like, oh, I kind of feel like maybe like this, maybe the Spirit of God or something was in that. But that's not the same as the God when He's there, burning like a sun right above you. That is that's something else. And so so those are my things for now, folks. Sort of in conclusion, be prepared and get ready, because God is coming. He's coming for all of us, and it's actually a reason to be really excited. Good things are going to happen. Bad things are going to happen first, unfortunately, but good things are going to happen too. In fact, eventually we're going to see heaven come on earth, and that's pretty exciting. So God bless you all. I love you all, and I'll see you again soon.